It's in layer 3 that we find the infamous IP address, and chances are that you've already heard of an IP address, even if you don't really know what it is or what it's for. So in this section of the course, we're going to dive deeper into what an IP address is, how it's used in networks, how routers route traffic, and other really important information that pertains to layer 3 of the OSI model, which is the network layer. In layer 3, using IP addresses, devices know how to find each other when they're in different broadcast domains or even entirely different networks. Do you remember how we discussed broadcast domains in the last section? Well, similar to how MAC addresses were used to communicate back and forth through switches, hosts from one broadcast domain can communicate with hosts in another broadcast domain or even entirely different networks using the destination IP address. And a router is in charge of the communication between these networks. Now, in a prior lesson, we used the ping command to ping cyber servers, which returned an IP address that was tied to the cyber.com domain. The IP address, which was 35.186.185.224, is the destination address. So your computer uses that address to know where to send packets that have cyber.com as the destination, which is really practical because otherwise we'd have a really hard time as humans remembering a bunch of different digits whenever we'd want to access our favorite websites. So instead, we can simply type an easy to remember domain name and our devices automatically translate that to the correct IP address. And there's actually a really advanced system that makes this possible behind the scenes that's called the Domain Name System, or DNS for short, which essentially acts as a phone book for the internet. This is a more advanced topic, so we won't cover that just yet. But just like in the real world, and just like with MAC addresses, you need a source and a destination address if you want to send a packet from point A to point B. You also need the right devices that can take your packets and forward them to the proper destination. So let's complete this introductory lesson and move on to the next, where we will discuss routers in more detail.